the full list of the IPSPs that we have mapped. Instead of presenting it per subcategory, I will present it as it is used in the cycle of life or in the cycle of the ritual as it is used in the ritual. So, halo-halo yung mga subcategories that you're going to see. But anyhow, there will be an indicator of what subcategory it belongs. So, and then later on, I will present as in one major presentation the significance of all this set of evaluable characteristics. Although there will be specific significance that will fall under each exam, some heritage. Then afterwards, we have one voting at the end after I presented around 38. Okay, let's proceed. Alright, so just to give you an idea of what I'm going to discuss. Yeah, so there are 28. Yeah, okay, so what I'm talking or just sit tight, and then we'll go through this. Let's start with knowledge and practice concerning nature and the universe. So this is intangible. So it talks about something that you cannot touch. So a concept can be considered a heritage. So the concept of ancestral land. So this is something that the Iboloids believe that they believe in having ancestral lands, which they call the Budaini Kaapuan, or the land that came from their ancestors, or it's their tawid from their ancestors, it's their inheritance from their ancestors. Why ancestors? Because these are land which belong to the family since time immemorial, and which became the basis for the doctrine of native idols, or that is attributed to the victory that Mateo Carreño won in the U.S. Supreme Court when he fought for his land over Namjahe, which is now enshrined in our local legislation, which is the Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act, that uses this concept of ancestral land. We also consider land is life as part of this concept of ancestral land, that without land, you cannot survive, because it's your home, it's your homeland, and it's the resource for your subsistence, and it's the source where you generate or sustain your relationship with other people. Otherwise, you wouldn't exist without these types of relationships. The Iboloids have this relational worldview that, and I think not only Iboloids, I think all indigenous peoples in the Cordillera needed to maintain three types of relationships. Relationship with the spirits, with the great spirits as well as the ancestral spirits. The relationship they needed to maintain with other people, with their neighbors and other community members. And the relationship that they needed to maintain with nature, with land. So all these things they are able to perform when they have an ancestral land to start with, because that's the basis of their culture. So let me proceed. So okay, I will just go through this. I will not ask you anymore. Bimisanan na lang natin sabihin ngayon. Next is, alright. There is this practice of reading the sign of the moon. Okay. There is this practice of looking at the moon before people plan, before people travel, before people get married, before they do some activities. And this has been part of their culture to look at and to be guided by the shape of the moon. So we have here the different phases of the moon and the particular names of these phases. So we have the ningil, which is referring to the quarter moon, the pingil or the full moon, the Vesca or the half moon, and the Badjan or the last quarter. So there are particular activities that are allowed or not allowed, depends on the shapes of the moon. Another basis for action that the people base, or use is by reading or by waiting for the sound of the killing bird. The killing is pronounced as killing. Apparently, this sounds make sounds of killing, which usually occurs in November, and no wala pang climate change. I think this is where it was best displayed because it usually comes before the strongest and the last typhoon of the year. So this is a sign for farmers at the time to prepare for that eventuality. It is a good, it's a good way of disaster prevention because you know that when you hear the killing, oh, there's a great strong typhoon that's going to come, so I have to brace my house. I have to, put the necessary repairs before the strong typhoon comes. So this is something that they had observed in the past. Alright, this is a migratory bird actually, the killing bird. And I think earlier, kanina merong nag-mention about the killing bird. Another benefit or use of the killing bird is it's used for agricultural, in the agricultural system of the Iboloys. We have here we have types of farms of the Iboloys. We have the Baang, the Uma, and the rice farms. And we have several farming methods, whether it's following, crop rotation, ameliorating soils. We have several of that. I'm not discussing anymore. And we also have farming beliefs and practices, one of which is aduyun. Aduyun is the equivalent of the bayanihan of the Tagalog, and we have the equivalent in other ethnic groups here in the Cordillera, like Binadang, Sokofu. This is helping other members of the community without any expectation for economic gains or returns. But when the time comes, that the other people also come in. So we have these agricultural practices of Iboloys that are of course organic and that are sustaining the environment. Because that belief na that they have to maintain a good relationship with the land. Okay, a while ago, the Pakung was presented as one ethnographic cultural heritage. But I'm including it here as for the ICH, yung playing of the Pakung. So we hope that we didn't only preserve the Pakung itself, but we hope that we also preserve the playing of the Pakung, that we need to learn this as well. Sa ating, meron ba tayong nakakalam ng Pakung? Playing, do we know how to do that? So it's good to hand this as a heritage to our children. Okay, all right. So in the life cycle of an Iboloy, they always get married, and often they always put up a new house. But before they occupy the house, they first observe the Dia ritual, or it's called the house blessing. Alright. Here you see a photo of the Mapunong again, and it's always conducted inside the house. And generally, it aims for the protection of the house and the prosperity of the new occupants. Alright. Okay. Binilisan namin yung pagmapa. And next na namin is yung the weight. The Iboloys have this, we're able to mix the modern and the old traditional practices of weights. Here it's showing you the Santo Shalitas. Looking at the sikot, that's one of the elements of the weight. The sikot, there are four. It's a knot that they tie or hang above the aralan. The aralan is the death chair, because used to be walang coffin ang Iboloys noon. So then they put their legs on the chair. Ngayon, nung naging mayor na si Secretary, he said, oh, wala na po yan dito sa Loacan, wala na sa Ogyo, gano'n tayo po ang one. We have to put them in coffins because Dr. Karin is because of sanitization. Kailangan ilagay na sa coffin. But nevertheless, the Iboloys in Loacan still continued that practice through the putting up of Al-Aradan. It's a death chair that's placed beside the coffin. So here you can see, this is one important thing I would like to show about the Aramag practice of the Iboloys, which is yung pagbibigay ng ofo or ofo. The ofo is something that you give to the family. And then you, parang pauit, dijay, parang ipapamigay niya. Because the understanding is, after they, I don't have 30 minutes. After this particular, sige. The belief is that once, sinabi kanina sa kami na bangkilay, di ba? Na ang mga namamatay, the spirits, go to the place where their other ancestors are living. Okay, so, pag may namatay, alam ng mga spirits doon na may bagong darating. So, all of them daw, line up and wait for that new arrival to join them. And then the first thing that they ask is, did my family adapt it na? Diyan. So, parang it's embedded in us that every time somebody dies, you have to give your umo and whatever, kahit a 20 or whatever, because of the belief that madidismaya yung relative afterlife na wala makuha from the family members. So, in a way, ganyan ang spiritual purpose, but of course, practically, ang practical application is it helps in the expense of the family during the funeral. Okay. And then, ito yung kakilibang kilid that was described a while ago, that after burial, there is post-burial ritual as part of helping, assisting the soul of the dead or the spirit of the dead to arrive to their destination. Kasi ang tinatanong from the new arrival is hindi lang yung donation coming from the or yung public ng family members nila, but also whether that new arrival has a full array of supplies to bring to that afterlife. So, kailangan mayroong animals, complete ko lahat ng mga prayers. If we have the novena for the Christians, we have the Catholic Baptili for the Ibalos. The Baptili is called the Pan-Aksyanan. So, it's something that they can step over to where they're supposed to go. So, we were able to map this. Okay, and every time in a ritual, there is always this bubud making because of the tape making that needed to prepare. Because in every ritual, there's always a tape required. So we were able to map how to prepare and how to make bubud, and this has been a long practice of the Ibaloys. Walang available market. Bubud wasn't available in the market before, so they have to prepare it themselves. So they know how to make the bubud, and they know how to prepare the tape using the bubud that they've made. Then after that, they also prepare the bangkilay, of course, for the tape ni bangkilay. So we were able to map the process of preparing the bangkilay. The bangkilay does not require the use of nails, all rattan, and then it's an art and a skill of doing a bangkilay. You don't just put them all together. So there is a step in the process for that, and I'm so proud to say that this is something that very, very unique. That is unique to the Ibaloys here, even in Luacan, because it's not something that is already practiced in Kabayan, for example, which is what they said. Ang sabi nila na cradle of Ibaloy culture. They don't have the bangkilay anymore. So for future research, magandang tingnan kung bakit nagkaroon ng change from Kabayan and while here in the south, in Baguio City, and particularly in Luacan, meron pa rin yung bangkilay. Ang ibig ng bangkilay